Everyone, today I'll be going through the MCQ section for one of the school's paper. So this is tagged to P5 level. So all of this question is found in the P5 end of year exam. So Alex discovered two animals and drew his observation as below. And this is how he drew it. It seems like all of them have four legs, and this seems like an animal that is more or less belong to amphibian, or it could be reptile, because this look a little bit dry skin to me. Okay, and while this look a little bit like a moist skin. Okay, so he believed that both of the animal are amphibian. His mother advised him to observe the animal further to support his claim. Which of the following characteristics can support his claim? So as an amphibian, one of the key characteristics is that it has moist skin, and at the same time most amphibians will have lungs. So this allowed them to live on land and on water. So amphibian, itself, is a more or less a key hybrid that is in between a fish and a reptile. So it can live on water and it can live on land. So over here, the key characteristics that will be able to support this claim is not the number of legs, is the place where they live. Okay? If they can live, if he can further find out or justify that it live on water and on land at the same time, then he probably can say that this is an amphibian. So let's move on. So a group of students were asked to observe 4 different plants in school. They record their observation. So red flower, green spiky fruit, spores under the leaf, weak stem needs support. Which of them is most likely a non-flying plant? One of the key characteristics is non-flying plant is that it got no flower and no fruits. And most importantly, it will reproduce by spores. Okay, so the answer is plant C, which is number 3. Bina was asked to list the similarities in the characteristics of the following animals that show. You got grasshopper, sparrow, frog. Okay, grasshopper itself is 3-stage. Sparrow is a bird, 3-stage. Frog is also 3-stage. Which of the following about the animal listed by Bina is not correct? Okay, not correct. They are plant eater. Not really for frog. Frog can eat mosquitoes, so they are not. Their young resembles their adult. Yes, for grasshopper and sparrow, but not for frog. They have 3 stages in their life cycle. This definitely all of them have 3 stages. Okay, they spend their second stage on land. This is probably true for grasshopper and sparrow, but not for frog. Okay, not for frog. For frog, they spend part of their life cycle on land and on water. The one water will be the tadpole. Okay, so the one that is incorrect will be A, B, and D. So the answer will be A, B, D, question number 4. Okay, moving on. The diagram below shows the life cycle of a bean plant. You got seed, seedlings, and adult. Which of the following statement about the stages mentioned are true? They make their own food at all stages. No, seed cannot. Okay, flowers can be seen in the adult stage only. Definitely true. Reproductions occur during seedling stage. No. Okay, adult stage. Only adults have fruits and flowers, and they can reproduce. During germination, the seeds gets energy from the seed leaf. That's correct. Okay. This energy probably refers to the store food. Okay, and the seed will use it for respiration to produce energy so that it can use it for growth. So the key correct part will be your B and D. That will be number 2. The diagram below shows the movement of inhale and exhale air. Okay, which of the following statement is correct about inhale air? This should be inhale air. Okay. Okay. Inhaled air contain oxygen? No. Inhaled air also contain other gases. Okay. So air, right, itself is made up of a few key components. Your nitrogen, your oxygen, carbon dioxide, as well as your water vapor, as well as include other gases that is sometimes present in a small amount, but just sometimes it's insignificant for us to mention. For the key four main player will be your nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Okay, so the temperature of the inhaled air is cooler than exhaled air. This is actually correct. Okay, think of it, your inhaled air is more or less same as your room temperature. Okay, that is probably about 25 degrees Celsius. Exhale air, right, follow your body temperature. Okay, that will be about 37 degrees. Okay, inhale cooler because the number here is smaller than 37. So number 2 is correct. There's more water vapor. No. The amount of nitrogen is the same, not more. Okay, because we don't use nitrogen, so it will be the same. Okay. So number 6, the diagram below shows the part of human digestive systems. Okay, so this whole tube-like structure thing, right, will be your blood vessels. This is not your blood vessels. This is actually your one of your intestine. Why is it intestine? Because there is arrow going out. It shows there is some form of absorption. Okay, identify organ X and Y. X is before, Y is over here. Okay, so that is the key portion you need to recognize first. Okay, so it's it'll be easier for you to recognize Y. Then from there is easy. From there you will be able to identify X. So digested food is going out. So it seems like it's absorbing digested food, and one of the key organ that does this will be your small intestine. So Y will be your small intestine. So naturally X will be your stomach, because stomach comes before your small intestine. So this is number 2. Okay, so the diagram below shows the cross section of a reproduction systems of flower versus a human. Okay, part T, this is the anther. Okay, has a similar function to which part? Okay, it should be this. Okay, this is the testes. Both of them, they will produce and store male reproductive cell. Okay, that will be number 4. Okay, the diagram below shows the circulatory systems in human and fish. Well, there are so many letters over here, so you need to be clear which letter they are talking about. Represent the blood vessels in these two systems. Which of the following best describe the amount of carbon dioxide found in the blood flowing in different blood vessels? High, low. So they are completely opposite of each other. So the letters should not be repeated. Okay, so over here, let's take a look. The one that is high, right, will be leaving the body. Okay, the one that is low, right, will be after lungs or after gills. Okay, so let's identify the one that's high first. Let's use red color. Oh no, let's use blue color first. So high. This should be high. This should be high because it's after the body. After the body, it will be used up. Most of the oxygen will be used up by body for respiration. Okay, so there will be a lot of carbon dioxide that will be produced and carried by the blood to the lungs. So R and S. So you take a look at R and S. So this one has R and S. Okay, so we keep a look. Is there any R and S? R and S. So answer will be most likely 3 or 4. So let's take a look at fish. So fish from the gills to the heart, and from the heart to the body, and from the body back to the gills. Okay, so after the body parts, okay, after the body parts, which is V. Which is V. Okay, over here, that will be the one that has a lot more carbon dioxide. So answer would be most likely your number 3. Okay, R, S, and V. The rest of them will be low in carbon dioxide, which means they have high in oxygen. Okay, those high in oxygen will be the one that is leaving the lungs. That will be P, that will be Q, that will be after the gills and after the heart. Okay, so for this part, okay, let's put a pause over here first. This question seems a little bit strange. Let's go back to question number 8. Take a look at this diagram very carefully. Normally when you are learning about fish circulatory systems, right, it should be in this manner. For fish, I got no space, I'll draw it here. Gills, okay, let me use the same representation. Gills, and then it will go to the body, and the body will go back to the heart, and the heart will go back to the gills. So the directionality of arrow should be in this manner. Okay, and you take a look, this arrow is facing this way. Okay, it seems that the question posed by this school is slightly different from what you have learned in the textbook. So this is something for you to remember. But the key over here is probably to look at the arrows. Okay, gills to the heart will be the most oxygen rich, because oxygen, dissolved oxygen found in the water enter through the gills, and then it will be pumped to it will be sent to the heart, and then the heart send it to the rest of the body. When it goes through the body, it will be used up by respiration. Okay, and then the blood itself will be carbon dioxide rich. So this part, this question, you have to probably pay a bit of attention to the arrows as well, because it's not what you have seen in the textbook. This question, or at least for the one that is drawn in fish, right, is different from textbook. Okay, so if you see this question, so answer according to the question based on the arrow allocated. Okay, so but in an actual scenario, the fish circulatory systems is look in this way, or in this manner. Gills to the body, body back to the heart. So the one that is oxygen rich will be here, oxygen rich, and these two part Y will be carbon dioxide rich, because already passed through the body. Okay, so that will be for question number 8. Okay, so okay, let's go on to question number 9. Which of the characteristics below are passed on from the parent plant to the young plant? Okay, the taste of fruit, yes, whether is it sweet, salty, and sweet, salty, or sour. The shape of the leaf, yes. The color, yes, because probably the plants probably this genetic information, you will probably know whether you want to be wind or animal pollinated. Number of fruits, no, because this one depend on the numbers of flowers. Okay, so this one highly no. So A, B, C, so the answer is 3 on this part. Okay, John removed 2 outer rings, P and Q, from the stem as shown over here. Okay, P and Q on different parts of the plant. One is top, one is bottom, and you got leaf B, leaf A. Okay, he recorded his observation of leaf A and leaf B. Okay, so A remained healthy, brown, while B remained brown and withered. Which of the following correctly shows the tube that was removed from P and Q? Okay, so for P, right, is related to B. This is B. When the leaf is brown and withered, right, most likely there is no water. No water, the leaf cannot make food. So it will remain brown and it will more or less die. So if you that will means that the water carrying tube is being removed. So the water, if the water is being removed, the food must also be removed because the water is found on the inside. It's very difficult for you to remove the inner tube without having the outer tube removed. So therefore A, which is correspond to Q, it remain healthy, therefore it must have water. The water carrying tube must be still be intact. So this is number 2. Okay. 11. The following statement describe how fertilization takes place in an animal. Okay, so you got fertilized eggs attached to the mother, so this should be on the later part. Okay, eggs and sperm cell fuse. Before they fuse, they must meet each other, and before they meet each other, they must probably produce first. Okay, you probably will be the last. Okay, can you see all of them is last, so this is kept at the last. So the first part, right, is probably you must produce the egg cell first. Okay, after you produce, the sperm need to meet. When they meet, they will fuse. When they fuse, it will become a fertilized egg, right? So the fertilized eggs will attach to the womb, okay? Then they will develop into an embryo by cell division. That means it will continue to divide from one fertilized egg to become many fertilized eggs, and then the baby will eventually be developed. So WV and T, W, V and T, S and U. So this one is the answer is number 2. Okay, so I have to see it very correctly. So Jaden cut open a fruit as shown, and you see there is many seeds. Okay, from here you probably know that there's a lot of seeds in the fruits itself. Okay, she observed the cross section of 2 flowers, X and Y. From which flower did fruit Z develop from, and what is the correct explanation? Okay. It should have developed from this flower, because there is many ovules. Okay, these dots over here are your ovules. Many ovules will develop into many seeds after fertilization. So it should be flower Y. Okay, and the key idea is there's many ovules. Okay, it's not because there's many stigma. Okay, it's not the case. Okay, so question number 13. Okay, so you have a map over here and you have some arrows. Let's take a look. You have Y, which is the parent plant. Okay, and you have some dots over here. These dots are your seeds, so it must shows that the Y must have dispersed the seed. You have the river and you don't see any plants over here, so definitely not by water. Okay, so you have wind direction. The wind is showing this part, okay, and the water is showing this way. Okay, so which of the following fruit belong to plant 1? Okay, flesh and juicy, this one animal. Okay, sweet and hairy, this one seems to be animal as well. Flat and light wing, okay, splitting. Okay, so over here you have 2 animal, wind and splitting. Okay, so if you take a look, right, the answer is probably wind. Okay, because in this portion, right, you don't see any dots over here, so it means that it follow the direction of wind. Okay, so the answer is number 3 on this portion. Okay, which is question number 13. Okay. Okay, Jeremy wanted to carry out an experiment to find out how the length of the wing-like structure of a fruit affect the distance it travels. So the change variable is how the length. Distance traveled is the measure variable. He used 3 similar fruit trying to tell you that it's trying to make sure that it's a fair test. The wing of the wing-like structures of A were left intact, that means it was not cut. Okay, then B was cut by here, C was cut even more. So this one is the shortest, then this one is the longest. Each of the fruit will release in front of fan as shown over here. What of the following observations should he record for his experiment? So this is trying to say, how do you take a measurement that is directly linked to the measured variable? Okay, the mass of fruit, no, because this is more or less it looks like the change variable. Okay, the height, no, this is probably something that you should keep constant. You should not measure the height. Okay, time taken for the fruit to land, this could be one. Okay, this could be one measured variable, but you take a number for a distance between the starting and the landing point. This should be the actual answer. 3 is wrong, which it could be most of the time it could be used as a measure variable or a result when we talk about this kind of question, but in this case we are not talking about time, we are talking about distance. So distance will be the more accurate one, okay, which is it also stated over here, affect the distance it traveled. So the fruit will drop here, so you'll probably measure the distance, and this will tell you how far it is being dispersed. Okay. To question number 15. Okay, Laura tests the property of 4 different materials A, B, C, D, recorded result in the table. Okay, so we have allowed light pass through from water, waterproof and flexible. Which of the following material is the most suitable in making the sole of the shoe? For this, I feel that the sole of the shoe, you probably need it to be flexible. Okay, I'll expect a tick here, and I probably also want it to be waterproof as well. Okay, because I don't want water to enter my shoe very easily. So with that, right, we can only see that there's 2 ticks over here. Okay, between these 2 ticks, I will feel that the answer, or the actual correct answer is actually number 4. Okay, given by the school. So I feel that these questions, it could be better written if we put 2 ticks over here. Because definitely you want it to be waterproof so that the water don't enter your socks, keep your foot wet. Okay, so let's take a look at question number 16. A metal container has a capacity of 5,000 centimeter cube. It is half filled with water, so it means that the water is about 2,500 centimeter cube since it's half filled, and an air pump is attached to it. So whatever remaining, right, will be whatever air that is remaining will be your 2,500 centimeter cube. Each time a plunger is pushed in, 1,000 centimeter cube of air is forced into the metal container. What would be the total volume of air inside the metal container if it's plunged in twice? Okay, so over here, whether it's plunged in once or twice, it doesn't really matter, because air itself is a gas. It has no definite volume, and can be compressed. So the air will be compressed to occupy a smaller space within the container. Okay, that will be 2,500. Okay, so whatever space that you got it here will be the volume of the air itself. Okay, so the answer is number 2. Okay, so for question number 17, you have 4 rectangular blocks of the same size. So the diagram below shows what happens when you place them on a beam balance and what kind of conclusion you can make. Okay, so over here, take a look. You have W to be more heavy. W to be lighter. So sorry, lighter. This is heavy. Very heavier. Okay, Z will be the one that is lighter. Okay, Y will be the one that is heavier. And the linkage between setup 1 and 2 is linked to setup 3. Okay, so over here, this one is heavier, this one is lighter. Okay, so there's some comparison that you need to work with. The block W has less mass then block Z. W and Z. Okay, though W and Z, they are not being placed together, so we have to try to make a conclusion between 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Okay, so W is lighter than X, and X is lighter than Z. So if we were to put Z here, so naturally this will still follow. So this is correct. Okay, X has more mass than block Z. X has more mass than block Z. X has more mass. So this is linked to setup 3. No, this is incorrect because X is lighter. It's above. The seesaw is in this direction. So X should have less. Okay. The blocks are made of different material. In this case, let's see whether they are correct. Okay, they tell you it's the same size. Same size means same volume. If they are of the same size, same volume, okay, when you place them together, right, they should balance. Okay, let's say Z and X, they should balance. Okay, if they were made of the same size, okay, that means they have the same volume, and if they are the same material, they should balance. But in this case, this was not observed, so naturally they are all made out of different materials. Okay, so A and C is correct, number 2. Okay, so you think of it, if this is iron and this is iron, and they have the same, they occupy the same amount of space, so they have the same mass as well, so they should be balanced. But in this case, if they are not balanced, like what we have seen in setup 3, right, that means this must not be iron, so therefore they must have different materials. Substance X freeze at 17, boil at 109. So this is the part that I will use more or less the temperature line. Okay, freezing point and melting point 17 degrees Celsius, boiling point 109. Which of the following shows the correct state when X is at 10 while N at 115 respectively? So this part I'll put it in this manner. Any part that is here will be solid. Any part that is any number that N here will be liquid. Any number that land here will be, in the next section, will be your gas. Okay, so let's plug in the number correctly. So 10 is less than 17, so 10 is here. Okay, so 10 is solid. Okay, 115 is greater than 109, so it should be here. Okay, so it must be a gas, so naturally the answer is number 2. So this is actually one way that you can do it if you use it with a temperature line. CT set out an experiment as shown below. 100 ml was poured onto each of the 4 shirts with different material. All the 4 shirts were placed under the sun, and the CT measured the amount of time taken for each shirt to be completely dry. Okay, so you see this one is folded. This one is also folded. This one is unfolded. Okay, this question got to something to do with evaporation. Okay, because the water on the shirt became dry, it must have become water vapor, and you know that this is something that is related to this, and the folding and unfolding part, right, is linked to this exposed surface area. Okay, and probably the sun is linked to the temperature. What is the possible aim of the experiment? To find out if the fabric or the type of fabric affect the rate of evaporation. That's correct, because A versus B. Okay? This could be a possible aim. If you were to compare this and this alone, it can be done. To find out how the amount of water affect the rate of evaporation? No, because both of them use 100 ml. It's a constant. It's a fixed variable. Okay, so no. To find out if the exposed surface area of the fabric affect the rate of evaporation, yes, if you compare this alone, it can be done. So you just keep the fabric constant, you compare the folded and unfolded, then you will be able to see how the exposed surface area affect the rate of evaporation. So the answer is A and C. So answer is number 3 on this portion. Okay, so let's move on to this part. The bicycle has a front lamp and a rear lamp, okay, and it's being connected to the same battery in this manner. So over here you have 3 switches. A control the front, C control the rear, B control both. Okay, because it's right smack in the middle. Okay, so if you are able to trace this part, electricity flow in this manner. Okay, for the rear lamp, electricity flow in this manner. Okay, so B or switch B lie in the path of both electrical pathway, which is red and blue. So it will be the one that will control both lamps. Which of the following observation is correct? When A is closed, only the front lamp will lit up. No. You need A and B to be close together for the front lamp to lit up. A and B rear lamp lit up. No. A control the front, not rear. A and C both lamp will not lit up. A and C both lamp will not lit up. Actually, this is correct because this is correct because B must be closed for both of them to be lit up. So the answer is number 3. B and C both bulb will light up. No, this one only the rear. Only the rear lamp. So answer is number 3. Michael needs to set up a booth in order to keep his food warm at the fun fair. Which of the following circuit will give out the most heat? So most heat, you probably need to think about it in parallel. Okay, so that each the amount of electricity coming from the battery can be maximized. So it will never be series. So 1 will be wrong. 2 possible. You keep in view first. 3, can you see these bars are connected in series, so this is probably wrong. And take a look, this only got 1 battery, this got 2 battery. So naturally, if you have more battery, more light and heat energy can be converted from the potential energy in the battery, so you will have more electricity. So answer is number 4. Okay, let's move on to question number 22. So Sharon was asked to determine the connection at the back of the circuit card as shown. She used a circuit tester to test the various points A, B, C, D, E and F on the circuit card. So you have the connection point, and this is a circuit card that was given. The table shows the point tested and the result of the experiment. So this one, focus on the yes. So you say A and C, so I'll put a tick A and C, E and F. That means this one no connection. So when I'm doing the question, right, I will look at I'll use these to help myself. Okay, so as long as you see a B, there's a wire, then this is wrong. Okay, B and D no wire, then the rest have wire connected to it. Okay, 2 looks like it's our possible answer. I can go on to evaluate the rest. B, there's wire, so which should not be the case, so 3 is wrong. B, there's wire, which should not be the case, so 4 is wrong. So over here the answer is number 2. Okay, so 3 pieces of wood, rectangle, square and circle, they will cut. Okay, they will glue together. Which one is not possible? Okay, the key is not possible. Okay, this one over here, number 1, it can be possible when you have the square. Okay, let me use red color. When you have a square and the circle appear this part. So this is possible. And then the triangle will be probably right smack in the middle. Okay, so this one can be possible too. You want, you can put it this way. Okay, number 4 is also possible. You put a square, put a circle, you put a triangle a little bit higher, because they never say how they glue it. It could be in this manner. So 1 through 3 is possible, 2 is not, because over here, right, it seems that light can pass through, and it's trying to say that the circle over here is the one that caused the light to pass through. Okay, it's trying to suggest that the circle is actually transparent. Transparent. So, and number 2 is wrong. Okay. So Jane added 3 ice cubes at a time into the beaker of the water, measure the temperature of the water, the result is being shown. Okay, so you have the number of ice cube added until 15, the temperature of water decreases up to a certain point, then you remain constant. So it seems like when you added 12, the temperature of water became 0, and you probably know that this is the freezing point. Probably the water is at that stage of time is frozen into ice. Which of the following best explain why the temperature of the water in the beaker did not change after the 12 ice cube has been added? And the water in the ice has frozen to become ice. That's correct. Okay, when they frozen to become ice, the temperature remain constant because it's a freezing process. Okay, the ice cube was too small. No, it nothing to do with the size of the ice cube. The ice cube added did not gain heat from the surrounding. No, the ice cube transfer their maximum coldness. As long as you see this word coolness or coldness, right, it is wrong, because there's no such thing as cold energy. Okay, coldness or coolness will be wrong. This is a non-scientific word. Okay, so our answer is number 1. So photosynthesis is a process where green plant make food in the presence of light. So they tell you a definition, a story of what is photosynthesis. Then they tell you the rate of photosynthesis of the seaweed. It increases to a certain extent that remain constant. Then the light intensity, right? You have the relationship of the light intensity versus depth of the seawater. It seems that the deeper it is, there is less light. Okay, when you reach the deeper part of the seawater. Which, based on the 2 graphs, determine which of the following statement is or are correct. The best depth for the seaweed, for the growth of seaweed, is 2 meter. 2 meter. If it's correct, it should show something at 2 meter here. Then you'll be able to know that because 2 meter have the highest amount of light, but the 2 is refer to the light intensity 2. So this is actually incorrect. Nothing on the graph tell us. Not possible to tell. The rate of photosynthesis depend on the depth. Yes, because the rate of photosynthesis is dependent on light, and light got something to do with the depth of the ocean. Okay? And the deeper you go, less light. So naturally, the rate of photosynthesis depend on the depth of the seawater. That is correct. Okay? The deeper we go, the more likely we are to find seaweed. This is something that's irrelevant to the graph. The greater the depth of the seawater, the faster the seaweed photosynthesize. Wrong. It should be slower. Okay, because the greater the depth, there is less light, as seen from the graph. So photosynthesis will occur slower. Okay, which is this part. So 3 and 4 are wrong statement. So Raiden conduct experiment using 4 setup A, B, C, D. He used the same amount of water in each setup. Okay, so you see 28, 36, 45, as well as 12. So he placed the 4 set up in a room of an unknown temperature. So now you have to find out what is the room temperature. Okay, so what is most likely the temperature of the room? And you have to see based on the water droplets, okay, that is inside, that is within the container. So first up, let's take a look at the similarities. B, C, and D, they are found all on the inside. Okay, this one is found on the outside. Okay, when the water droplets can be found on the outside, that means the warm water vapor is on the outside, and this is actually your cooler surface area. The cooler surface area is at 12 degrees Celsius. So the temperature of the room is related to the temperature of the warm water vapor. So we can say that from A, the room temperature is higher than 12. B, C, D tell us something. Okay, you notice that B, you got less water droplets. D, you got most. Okay, and all this is because the source of the warm water vapor comes from inside. This is the source of the warm water vapor. And where is the cooler surface area? It's all here. At the lid, the cooler surface area, and this cooler surface area will follow the room temperature. So the room temperature is determined by the surface area over here. So it must be lower than 28. Okay, so B to D, right, tell us that the room temperature is lower than 28 degrees Celsius. So now you have a range to work it out with. 12 and 28. More than 12, less than 28. The most likely answer is number 2. Okay, so you are using where the water droplets form to know the temperature of the room, and this question is actually quite hard. Okay, so Henry made an electromagnet as shown below. The batteries were connected to the wire correctly. Both batteries were working well. He found that the electromagnet did not attract any paper plate that were brought close to it. What should he do to make the electromagnet work? So take a look at this setup. You have battery, you have wires. It seems that it's being connected in a correct manner, but this one is a non-magnetic material. So no matter how many coil or battery you put in, right, it cannot become an electromagnet. So the problem is with the nail. The nail is a problem. So you have to change the nail. So answer is number 4. It's not about using longer wire, more battery, or more coil. All these will not help. Okay, you got to identify the problem. The problem is with the nail. Okay, so let's take a look at the last question. So Jane put a big and strong bar magnet in a container filled with iron filling as shown in it. So this is a bar magnet. We know that this is the pole. This is the pole, and this is the middle. Before she leave the magnet, she was asked for a friend to predict the amount of iron filling that will be attracted to each part A, B, C, D as listed. So the fourth friend gave the mass of the iron filling. So this part over here is related to this concept. The pole being the strongest, it will attract most. Middle being the weakest, it will attract the least. Okay, so over here you probably have to get a sense that B and C, the number will be lower. A and D, the number will be higher. Okay, so this is the part that you probably need to keep in mind. Okay, so let's take a look. 4111 4151. Okay, this seems illogical. Okay, Toby 6 5, then in between is 2 and 3. Possible? Francis 5, 4, 6, 2. Not possible, because over here the post is actually the lowest number. Okay, this is the one that's having the problem, and the middle is higher. 5, 1, 2, 6. This is possible. Okay, so logical speaking, Toby and Veron is the correct one, and Toby and Veron belong to number 3. So the answer is number 3 over here. So with that, we more or less finished the entire paper for this part. Thank you.